I don't. Okay, it didn't overflow this time. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the EWF podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and tonight I'm drinking another Bauhaus, but this time it is the Stargrazer, a German-style Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier.
I'm Joseph DeGranchant, and I'm drinking. Shit, where is it? A limited release.
Ooh.
Wizard Mode. Double IPA, double dry hopped double IPA by like 56 Brewing. Yeah, it's got a really neato label with like pinball on it, and it's like I don't know,
That's
pastel colored and like
it's
like one of those
retro.
it's like a retro, and it's got like it's just like a sticker one, which I'm warming up to. You know, I've got some good brews from it, so you know.
I feel like the people on the podcast can see the progression of you hating the stickers to liking them in like the last 5 episodes, because you bring it up every time.
Well, labels are an important part of it.
Right. Well, I'm Gabe Toman, and I've got the Labatt Blue Canadian Pilsner.
Trash.
Well,
Trash.
to be fair,
Shit about Labatt.
Today was 60-cent wing night at Schmidt's, and I got a pitcher of Two Hearted for $12, and me and Josh split that. So
Nice.
I'm so bitter about that.
It's such a good deal. So I got some Two Hearted, so that now I'm going back to shitty beer.
So you actually went to Schmitz for once? That's a surprise.
I went last week too.
So we all fucking move out of the house, and now he's Mr. I'm going there every week for wing night.
Pretty much.
The fuck out of here.
Glad you get it.
And I am Dayton, and I am drinking the Green Warden by Banded Brewing, which is up in Maine, and it is an ale brewed with spruce tips. So for anyone that knows my beer taste, the pineier it can get, the better. So I mean, this thing literally has pine needles on the front.
If you could juice a pine tree and then like ferment it, that would be Dayton's top
Dayton
drink.
just chews on pine cones for fun.
Yeah. He takes them to work.
I won't
he's got
deny
he's got a bin for him.
A nice little crunch. That's how he gets his fiber in the day.
I'd like actual.
I get enough fiber, Joseph.
That's true.
Are there actual pine needles in there? Because I wouldn't doubt it.
Like
Dude,
floating.
It says brewed with spruce tips. No. Oh, you mean like in the beer, like floating around?
Yeah, like floating around.
Dude, honestly,
Just take a sip and you feel a needle go down your fucking throat.
It just gets stuck in
I
your
would buy
teeth
it,
like
dead ass.
like corn.
That would fucking mess somebody up.
They're not as freaking
Can be
metal as
flossing your
me.
teeth and drinking at the same time.
Yikes. All
You
right,
do
so
that
don't
for the
forget to
hair in
follow
your beer
us.
too.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at EWF Podcast, and you can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube every Monday, except for last Monday. And we are sorry for that. We missed a week, and I want to shout out especially Cece and Max, who sent us messages saying how mad they were that we didn't have an episode. I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
We all feel bad.
It might happen again.
Hopefully, it won't happen again. Unless it's like a holiday or something, but we would tell you ahead of time.
We didn't really have
Anyway.
a good excuse, to be honest.
Let's get into this week's episode. And I gotta start off with a little rant, as I like to do sometimes. But first, Joseph,
Oh shit.
last weekend your parents came to visit.
Oh god. Yeah.
Also known as... What can we call your dad as a nickname?
Joe.
I think we can just.
Does-
I think we can just go with Joe. He's fine.
Okay, so we got Joe and we got Crazy Kath, right?
Ooh, he can be
So-
One-Eyed Joe, but
Yeah,
One-Eyed
I think
Joe?
One-Eyed Joe, yeah.
One-Eyed Joe.
I honestly thought about that
Crazy
earlier. I'm like, I feel like that's mean. Joseph might get mad about
No.
that. We'll go with...
It-
Okay, so we got One-Eyed Joe and Crazy Kath rolling
He
up
might
to the
get
apartment,
mad,
right?
but, he doesn't.
And,
listen.
You would think that, you know, Joseph's parents would want to see Joseph, but I feel like Crazy Kath just came to check the apartment and clean the apartment because they like totally like over cleaned it, which is kind of fun.
Well, you weren't even here. She spent at least 20, maybe 30 minutes cleaning the kitchen.
Oh,
Jesus
And it's
Christ.
like I had already like
I mean, yeah, when I got home, it was weird.
kind of cleaned it. You know, it's like I put dishes away and like kind
it's
of
serviceable.
Yeah, it's like I tidied up, you know. I didn't clean, I tidied up where like stuff was put away for the most part. You know, it was
Well,
whatever.
we're not like dirty, you know.
Yeah,
like
we're-
we wipe the counter every like once a week or so.
Yeah, so
But I get home and like everything's like immaculate and like all of our shoes are like lined up perfectly against the wall and like all this stuff. I'm like, what the fuck happened? But anyway, so Joseph and his parents went to Target, and I look over to the counter, and what do I see on the counter? But these
that's what you went to grab.
these pumpkin spice pretzels. What the fuck is this shit? All right,
I've had those before. They're great.
They're pretty good.
Dude, they're pumpkin spice yogurt covering pretzels essentially.
Yeah. This is before my time of being vegan, but yeah, I remember them being really good.
Yeah. So and there's those, and there's some like pumpkin spice cream cookies, which like whatever. But I feel like these pretzels just are the thesis of my point of pumpkin spice has gotten out of control. All right, and I'm not even knocking the flavor of pumpkin spice. It's a fine flavor. I don't if you like pumpkin spice, Dayton, which I know you're gonna have words to say about this. I'm not a hater if you're a pumpkin spice fan, but I feel like these companies are just inventing any way possible to throw it on their products so they can make more money in the fall.
Why does it matter, dude? If it tastes good, who the hell gives a shit?
But it's just like this shit doesn't need to exist. Pumpkin spice pretzels. Nobody asked for those. Okay, nobody asked for them.
You guys had pumpkin beer. It's actually kind of good.
Dude, that's
like drinking a pumpkin pie.
I've got one lined up next.
I just feel like all these companies are just capitalizing on the pumpkin spice, trend, and just making some.
That's just like saying Halloween. They make more candy. It's part of the season at this point.
It's just how it works, Jacob.
I know. I just don't like it. All right, I don't like it. And this is gonna. We can talk about this first, but then I want to bring us into a broader topic of just seasonal decorations in general. Because the reason Joseph's mom bought the pretzels and
she also bought
cookies,
a pumpkin candle, by the way, which smells fantastic.
Which is great.
I
love
just
candles.
got an apple pumpkin candle the other day. And it
I cannot hate on the candles. But like she's like, you guys need some fall decorations for your apartment, and we're like, fuck that. All right, seasonal decorations are just a waste of time, money, and space.
That's my thing.
Mostly
like,
space.
My mom's like, well, you don't have to buy. Like, I'm buying this stuff for you, and it's like, okay. Where am I going to put it when it's not fall? I don't have that much room in my apartment, and I don't want to hawk this bullshit with me when I move. Like,
wasn't she saying she was going to get us like a napkin holder?
Yeah, she got us a napkin holder.
Bullshit like that.
And she's
it's like a pumpkin or something?
No, I already have one that she gave me, and I don't use napkins. We just use paper towels.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys use napkins?
No, we have an
No, we don't, Dayton, because we're fucking civilized.
Napkin holder. And my mom saw it, and her heart broke. She's like, you guys ran out of napkins? And I was like, no, we never had napkins.
So you just use paper towels.
I think she said she's going to ship me napkins now.
Oh my god, crazy cat.
Dude, crazy cat.
And this is further...
She lives up to her name.
This is like further that point. She did not come to see you, Joseph. She came to see how you were living, and specifically clean that shit up.
She cleaned part of my bathroom too. She brought me towels. I didn't ask for towels, like new bath towels. I just bought new bath towels, and she brought.
But they are going to come in handy because Max and Kenzie are coming over tonight.
I'll give her at that point. But she didn't know that. Like, she just.
So both sides of my family, they both have literal Tupperwares depending on the season.
Oh yeah.
And it's not like fall, right? Or like, fall and like winter. It's fucking every goddamn season. Like, it's coming Easter. You bet your ass.
Holiday and stuff?
Yeah, any holiday possible. There's stickers and decorations, and it just takes up so much space in their basement. Like, I don't find any use in it. Like, she spends money all the time on fucking decorative gourds. What the fuck are you going to do with decorative gourds?
You're going to decorate.
You see all those memes online about... like shitting on guys who decorate their apartment because it's super like minimalist, and then like girls have like a bunch of live, laugh, love bullshit. Like, I don't.
Well, that's just more like their decorations are basic, I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't need decoration if it like that stuff. I don't know. I find it kind of.
Well, because like I like me and Joseph's decorations in our apartment, but like they're year-round decorations.
Yeah, that's not getting
you put them up once.
At all.
There's a day every year that my mom, when she does Christmas stuff, it takes her all fucking day to break out all the Christmas stuff. I mean, the tree takes time, but the whole fucking house, man. You walk in and if you don't see anything Christmas within 3 feet, there's a problem, and then it takes her a whole day to put it away, and it's just like, ugh.
I think it's just something for them to do.
Something to do, yeah. Make change to the house, or apartment or whatever.
It's too much work for me though. It's like it's not
Yeah.
worth it.
But like, to change it up every now and again. Throw some spice in, some pumpkin spice in your life.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Sprinkle,
Yeah, Dayton, are you
sprinkle
about
some
to-
pumpkin spice?
Are you gonna clap back at me for this pumpkin spice
yeah.
agenda I have?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's.
I think you're wrong.
I just think that did anyone ask for Pringles? Did anyone ask for like any other product? No, dude. This company just fucking made it. People started buying it, and that's just how the market works, Jacob. And then flavors too. It's like, do they like Lay's make some head ass flavors? Like, you gotta admit that.
But here's the difference, Dayton. The head ass flavors are people will eventually figure out their head ass and they won't come back ever. Pumpkin spice, even if it's bad, it'll come back every year and you forget. Oh yeah, pumpkin
It's coming
spice.
back 'cause it
That's good,
sells.
right?
Dude,
and you
pumpkin-
forget, and then it's still shit.
It's like candy corn.
bro,
I'm convinced
bro.
no one likes.
I'm not saying,
candy
hey, I'm not
corn.
saying all pumpkin spice products are shit. I'm saying some are, and people year after year get tricked by these companies who just put the same shit product every year, and they keep buying it because it has pumpkin spice on the label.
Are you telling me they get a trick instead of a treat? Is that what you're telling me?
You got him.
That was a good one, Gabe.
Thanks.
No, I think that it's nice. I think pumpkin spice is nice. It's very nice.
Why don't you just, if you like it so much, then snort some nutmeg, all right? What more do you
Oh
want?
my god.
How about you go snort some nutmeg?
Good one, Dayton.
No, yeah, notice the pause.
Gotcha, bitch.
Because like it's funny, because like I feel like with like St. Patrick's Day, there's like the Shamrock Shake at McDonald's every year,
That's it. That's really all.
But that's it. That's it. There's no other like mint or whatever things. That's the one thing. Well, pumpkin spice every year. And you go get Christmas like
Easter,
peppermint.
though. Like Easter is like got the whole Cadbury eggs.
I mean,
and
that's the only.
Peeps.
Yeah, it's the
That's
only
just like
time
candy
you can
in
get
general,
Peeps,
though.
So
Oh yeah, I guess. But
Dude, but I got pumpkin spice bagels, and wow, they are good.
But here's my other issue, and I already know the answer. I already know the answer to this. But if they're so good, they should sell them year round.
No,
then they
dude,
would lose
because
the
then,
appeal.
then it'll lose its appeal. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad makes pumpkin pancakes in the fall. He gets like pumpkin pie filling, and like mixes it
Ooh,
in
that
the
does sound
batter,
good.
and it's super good.
Okay. Okay.
But
can fuck
I think
with
that's like why you have it limited, right? So you like look forward to fall to buy that pumpkin spice thing.
But then
They're
these
like,
suckers just buy these garbage products.
Hey,
Why does it
Maybe
matter,
they like
Jacob?
'em,
It's not
though.
harming you.
maybe they
It's
actually
harming their
like
wallets.
the products.
Well, who cares if it's harming their wallets? They might enjoy it.
You could
You ever
argue
thought
that
of
that
that?
beer you
Capitalism.
buy
Yeah,
is harming
he's
your
like they're
wallet.
garbage products to you, maybe, but maybe they
Yeah.
look forward to it every year to get those, yogurt pretzels that are pumpkin spice.
But what I'm worried about, Gabe, is I'm the random
Oh,
consumer, right?
Slippery slope of the pumpkin spice.
What's next?
Okay, pretend I'm a consumer, right? Right, Gabe? Let's say I'm dating, because Dayton loves pumpkin spice. I'm not even
Right.
that to that degree, right? I walk in Cub and I'm like, all right, time to go my weekly grocery run. Let's say I stop in the cookie aisle, because you know what? I'm feeling like I want some sweets this week. And I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, this company, who I haven't really heard of, they're kind of a smaller cookie brand I haven't really gotten before. They have pumpkin spice cookies. They look good in the package. I'll get them, I'm just buying them pure off of the marketing advertisement pumpkin spice factors, which is how you sell shit. But anyway, I get it. I come home, I eat one. I'm like, this doesn't taste that good. I would not get these again. Would not recommend to a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to 1 year later, they go in the same cookie aisle. They see the same ones and buy them again because they've forgotten because these companies are tricking them. Maybe they change the
Alright.
packaging a little bit,
Jacob,
but they're still shit.
I have a competing argument. All right, it's summer, right? You go into the beer aisle and you see a beer that's a summer seasonal. Like, oh, that looks interesting. It's a smaller brand. You don't know it that well. You give it a shot. You try it. You don't really like it, and then a year goes by, and then you buy it again because you don't know the difference.
Yeah, I mean it's any
just-
seasonal thing.
That's
It's
just
any
how
seasonal
seasonal
thing.
stuff works.
But I feel like pumpkin spice is on another level. Like
I
the
don't know, I
market
think it's that
penetration is
different.
insane.
Pumpkin spice is getting out of hand. Hot take.
Take it back.
Thank you, Joseph.
Take it back, you swine.
And again, I'm not saying pumpkin spice doesn't taste good. That's not my issue. My issue is capitalism.
Well, you're in the wrong country.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to the decorations thing, the other thing, Gabe, with it is like your family, if they have like the thing for every season or every holiday, it's like you gotta be on top of that. You can't be one day late on that stuff. As soon as one season's over, you gotta switch, or else you look like an idiot. You know?
No. My stepmom, the fucking moment it is the day after or not Christmas. Christmas stays up because of New Year's, but like the day after Easter, fucking gone. You wouldn't even know. It's a whole different house.
Are there any leftover peeps, Mom? No, I threw them all away.
Yeah.
The season's over. All right.
It's done.
Is it Easter anymore?
Same
No.
with Valentine's Day. Love's dead. We're on to the next one.
But yeah, it's mostly the space thing, which I agree with Joseph, and I'm sure Dayton agrees too, because he's a minimalist.
Mhm.
I don't see any use in buying products that do jack shit except make it look a little more pink or green depending on the holiday.
See, I
Yeah.
think it'd be useful to get a girl's opinion on this. 'Cause
No.
I feel like we're not going to get any different opinions on this because
I
we're
feel
all
like you're being
dudes and we're
sexist,
all-
Dayton.
I think
You think that all girls are into that kind of stuff?
No, but I'm saying that they're more likely to be.
Trying to pin him.
I know.
I know. I will say
we're not
I
a
think
very
us
diverse panel.
young white guys have a
Four
very
young white men.
diversified opinions and diversified experiences, and I think our thoughts and beliefs are end all be all. So there's that.
Uh-huh.
I will say that like my stepmom and my mom's decorations, they look nice, and like you look
Yeah, they look
you go in
nice,
there and
yeah.
you're like, oh, that looks really nice, and it like feels more homey, but it's just not something I would do personally. And if she enjoys it, I mean, more power to her. Obviously, you can do
Yeah.
what
And
makes you
I
happy,
just feel
or
like-
if you want to spend your time with that way. It's
Yeah.
not where I would spend my space and my money. More importantly, my space, because they have houses, right? We're gonna be in apartments, so.
Yeah, they've got
just like the
basements they
slippery
can
slope.
pack all that shit in. You know.
But that's like a slippery slope though, because like I went home a few weekends ago and I had to go into the basement to grab something, and there's just like shit everywhere. Because like a lot of it's like from me and my brother were growing up. There's just like toys and just random stuff or books, and you start down this path of like, oh, I'll have a little thing for this, little thing for this, and next thing you know, you're fucking a hoarder, you know. And I saw a shower thought on Reddit yesterday that was like, all of the clutter in your house used to be money, and that made me really sad.
Hashtag minimalism. Yeet.
That is.
I think
Shameless plug.
kids are different though, because like I don't know, kids change their interests and their
Yeah, dude. Once
size
you have
and
kids,
grow
it's a
so
whole
quickly.
different ball game.
Yeah,
Mm.
like of course you're gonna buy them toys, because like, are you gonna entertain them all fucking day? I'd hope not. You
No.
go fucking nuts.
But well, like on these days, I feel like you're just giving them an iPad. You know, like I feel like physical toy sales have probably declined the past few years.
Probably, but I mean, there you go. There's
I think
your
you'd be surprised.
minimalism. Just give them an iPad and don't buy more shit.
And ruin them with
Yeah, I guess-
technology.
Burn their eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess Calvin likes toys, doesn't
Yeah,
he, Joseph?
all my nieces and nephews, they're
Well, they like smashing toys together. And
yeah, like a bunch of rocks.
I love Calvin because he doesn't play with toys. He just like picks them up and throws them around, and like he had like some dinosaurs. He doesn't like do anything with. He just like pretend like they're fighting. He just like throws them and
He's
just like
3.
continuously
He
throws them
can't
around. I know, but it's just
fathom
funny to
things.
me.
I don't know. He doesn't understand concepts like
I pick things up, I put them down.
pretty much.
I like to pick up and put down this one more than this one.
I still remember when we were at your house and I was playing Breath of the Wild and I was just cutting grass. That was the fucking funniest thing ever.
Dude, he,
That was one of
not
the most
stop
amazing
laughing.
things I've seen in my entire life.
he's a
Like,
wild
a
child.
kid could get entertained by watching someone cut grass in a video game. Like, I wish I was that easily
It's
entertained.
just pretty lights, you know? Pretty colors.
I guess.
Dude, he
Green.
started preschool this year. Oh my god, he's getting
Damn.
old. He's 3.
Can he write his name?
No.
Fucking dumbass.
Is he getting,
What an idiot.
is he popular? Is he popular with
I
the
have
ladies,
no
Joseph?
idea.
Dude,
I
one of
would
the only
guess so,
things that I
because-
remember from preschool is headbutting this kid. And then looking up and realizing his dad had an eye patch on. And I was like scared shitless.
Do you remember
I
as
feel like
I
you
have
have
a
not changed,
preschool,
Aiden.
I remember like them having the letter E on a board and I had to copy it and my dumbass fucking made an L.
Missing a few lines there, bud.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess back to the topic. Like, yeah, I don't want to like shame anybody for doing all this
you
shit. I
can't
know we're
like
being harsh.
what we don't like because we're white young men.
And I think Joseph has a point where it's like it's kind of nice to change up your space,
Yeah.
and keep things fresh.
And like I said, if that's something they enjoy, like, and they have the space and they are willing to spend their money for it, like that's that's their own thing. Like they may get enjoyment out of that we don't understand. So
it's like when you like rearrange your room, like you move your bed to a different wall or whatever. It makes the room feel
that shit hits
different
differently.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
gets
like
Dayton
that.
off.
But
I
instead of
noticed
having
you
to
just added the couch into your room there. Or is that a new couch?
It's a new couch, and it's been here for a while now, Gabe.
Been there for like 3 weeks, Gabe.
feel like
We haven't Skyped in a hot sec.
Yeah, we have.
Discord.
we Skyped.
It's
last,
been there. We swiped last week and it was there.
It
I've
was
never
definitely
And the week
there
before
the
that.
last
I always look
2
at the
times.
bike. I always look at your bike in your face, and that's it.
Oh,
See, I usually
thank
make
you.
eye contact like a normal human being, but at least
It's a
try
nice-
to make eye
it's a nice
contact
bike.
as much as you can.
Yeah, you want to buy it? Sell it to you.
No, thank you.
Oh, all right.
I think the seasonal decorations are like really good if you're like entertain a lot, especially.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like people come like, oh, this is cute, But like even if you like have them in your house, I feel like you sometimes get the effect of like you just get used to things really quickly. Like there's a Jim Gaffigan joke where it's like he's like, yeah, it's my family in Disney World and we were staying where they have like giraffes outside, and it's really awesome. You look in your balcony, there's just giraffes, and he's like, by day 3 you walk out like, man, giraffes again? They can't change it up a little bit, It's like I feel like you still end up getting used to it.
I feel that.
I mean, I even noticed like when I was in New Mexico, like the first month, I'm like, there's so many mountains. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh! And then by like month 2 and 3, I'm like, oh, those exist.
Yep.
They're there.
Mm.
Yeah, I made sure Dayton, like in New Zealand, right? You're driving around at the beginning, you're like, oh, these fucking mountains are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end, you have to like consciously like think, oh yeah, mountains are really cool. Like, you just get used to seeing them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just kind
Definitely.
of forget about it.
And I feel like
Dayton-
decorations are a lot easier to change than like moving furniture and shit,
Or
Oh, I thought you were gonna say moving mountains, but
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say that too.
But, it's
You
like
wake up one day, it's like, does that mountain move to a different?
instead of
What?
like, moving your couch to a different wall and like changing like the layout of a living room or whatever.
dude, I honestly don't think that I could fit my couch anywhere else somewhere it is.
You know my point. It's easier if you own a house, like, and you have more space. It's easier to put up the little decorations, these pictures, these figurines, whatever the hell it is,
Yeah.
and change that up than it is to move furniture or whatever. It's and like I don't know about you guys, but like my mom has like she puts everything in the same exact spot every year. And so like it's like predicted. So she has like her her routines or whatever where she puts everything, and I don't know, it's cool to see like every Christmas or whatever, it's like the same decorations, so it's cool to be like, oh, it's Christmas time, like I remember these when I was younger and like seeing them now and stuff.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear a fun story about Halloween decorations and me being a pussy as a child?
Not really, but tell it anyway.
So the painting American Gothic, the dude with the pitchfork and the white.
Yeah.
And separate topic, but I promise they're related. Those old like early 2000s like trading cards that you could like flicker and it would like be an action movie, like it'd have like two
like a holographic card.
Yeah, like the holographic. I don't know what the term of it is. But when I was really young, my dad bought this Halloween decoration that was a post. It was like a painting of American Gothic, and then when you got closer to it, it was just like skeletons, and it was really fucking scary. So when I was a kid, I would like consciously avoid the hallway that like had the painting. So I would like go around the house so that I wouldn't have to see it. So it always scared the shit out of me because it would look normal from a distance, and then when you got close, it just like fucking spooked you, And, like, you thought it was watching you.
It's like those paintings where like the eyes track you.
Yeah, that's what it felt
Oh,
like.
I hate those.
It felt like it was always staring at you, especially when you're close, and it terrified me. I don't know if he still has that, but if he does, I'll send you guys a photo of it because it's creepy as hell. Or it
Speaking of
was.
things that are terrifying, Dayton, what's your topic?
Terrifying. Oh,
What
yeah,
a plug.
that's quite the segue there.
Hey, well, I'm a good host. What can I say?
Things that are terrifying. 2 words.
Uh-oh.
Climate change.
Nah.
But
You're afraid of
but
a
Dayton,
hoax?
don't you mean global warming?
I'm gonna fucking kill you, Jacob. No, I just thought it would be cool to talk about the climate strikes that happened on the 20th. And I mean, I'm sure that there were some in Minneapolis that were going on, right?
You shouldn't ask us. We don't keep up to date on that
You,
stuff.
you
I'm
didn't
sorry.
see
Side
like
watch
anything
anime.
like.
Well, we're not like in downtown or anything like that. We're like not really
okay,
near.
True.
that.
Lansing
Yeah.
definitely had some.
Yeah, I know that Houghton had one too.
Houghton one had, yeah. There was
Yeah.
a bunch of people on the bridge.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guarantee there was one. We didn't see it or hear about it.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to participate, but I mean, I didn't see anything for my area, and even so, it's like I was working, which I mean, I think that's part of the point of doing that is like
Yeah,
you're supposed to
Work out, yeah.
yeah
Like, this is more important.
to say that it's more important. But yeah, I mean, I just think that it's interesting how she's 16, Greta Thunberg, right?
Mhm.
And she's able to generate this amount of traction. And I mean, you can see the amount of effect that she has on people because there are all these people that are getting super angry with her and trying to like take her down.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I saw a
Twitter's
hilarious
been
tweet today.
So
Yeah,
I think it's the same one, but go ahead.
The one that she quote tweeted, where it was like a video. It's like, "Are you irrationally angry at a 16-year-old girl?" Or it's like, "Are you like a straight white male who's like irrationally angry at this 16-year-old girl? Call this hotline and get your anger out." You know, it's all these fucking old white guys like, you know, it was really fucking funny.
The one
It's like,
I
why are you so fucking mad? Like, God, people.
The
are
one
dumb.
that I saw, it was this like alt-right author or something, and he tweeted something along the lines of that in World War II, the complexion of Greta or of her like complexion was used as to like what was
As
it
propaganda.
as propaganda for like the Nazis, and they were like,
Oh, I
and
did see
now
that
the
one, yeah.
Democrats are using it too, and it's just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
The other
Yeah.
good one I saw was like it was a picture of her and like it was like a headline. It was like her and then some other teenager who was like a racist kid or something. And somebody quits like, why can we only criticize one of these two teenagers? And it's like, 'cause one of them's fucking racist. I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
Just people are getting so butthurt about it.
Greta was the one who took the boat, right? She like took a boat across Europe that took like a couple weeks instead of like flying
Yeah.
or something.
Was that her? I know somebody did that. I don't know if it was the same
I
person.
I
thought
think
it
it was
was.
her.
I'd
Man, we
believe it.
should we should fact check the
No.
source before we. Okay.
No.
I can look that up.
We're straight white.
But
I know
men,
that
we
she
our
she
way.
takes public transportation for the most part. She eats a vegan diet. I mean, she walks the talk. Like
Mhm.
she's not just up there,
Yeah.
you know.
She's a way better speaker than I'll ever be. I'll fucking say that.
Dude, and she has autism too, which is nuts.
She has Asperger's, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard her on the podcast this morning. And yeah, she fucking killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was her that did the thing.
I remember
That did
hearing
the
about
thing.
that, you know,
And
months
that
ago.
she got a bunch of shit from that too.
Yeah.
For like taking a boat. Because it was like it was a zero emissions boat or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people
Would
were
they
like, "Why are you doing that when you could
Paddle
fly?"
it or
It's
something?
like
How do you get a
have
zero
no
emissions
idea.
boat?
wind.
It's possible it's renewable based.
No, I know. There's a lot of options. I was making a fucking joke. Dayton.
Oh, sorry, Joseph.
Yeah, electric motors with solar
Joseph.
panels or whatever. Yeah, no, it's
Hmm.
very
There's a lot of options.
very doable. Biomass is pretty clean usually.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
just,
the soundbite. Or go ahead, dude.
I just thought it was super interesting how. All right, so this is gonna get a little bit ranty from me.
Oh god.
Go for it, dude.
I just think it's interesting to me because like you get all these people out here supporting like they realize that climate change is happening, except
Global warming.
a lot of them
It's global warming. Dayton.
I really wish I could strangle you right now.
Continue.
Okay, I'm honestly like I'm being not just for the audience, but I'm genuinely curious. Why do you hate the term global warming over climate change?
Because global warming is false. It's not just
not the whole
global
picture.
warming. Like it's that there is global warming in some places, and a majority of places that is happening. Except then also on the flip side, it's just more extreme weather in either.
We had a
end. So you
record
get a lot
snowfall
hotter.
in Houghton. How can there be global warming?
See, that's exactly why
That's
you
why
don't
it's
say
climate
global warming,
change,
because
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
because they
It's
do like
climate
weather
change.
versus climate type of a deal.
Well, it's because the extremes are the cold extremes and the hot extremes are just getting pushed out further.
Yeah.
So like you'll have way hotter summers and then way colder winters.
That polar vortex we had was fucking brutal this last winter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say if that is,
Yeah.
just weather or if that's climate, because we just don't have enough data to back that up yet. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like the fact that the Earth is increasing in temperature. It's not that. It's like what that's causing, which is a change in climate for
Yeah.
parts of the world.
yeah,
But yeah.
and for the most
Anyway,
part,
continue.
it's parts of the world that aren't contributing nearly as much as we are.
It's like mostly third world countries, right?
Yep.
Well, and at the poles too, right? I mean,
I
like
mean,
Antarctica.
the poles are getting fucked, but
yeah.
People don't live there, so it's fine, right?
There's no important animals or
Right.
anything in that area.
right. No, but anyway,
Fuck
back
the
to like my
penguins,
original
am I
thing
right?
that like I wanted to talk about with this is that we have a lot of people like our age and even like like older people that realize that this is happening and want to do things about it. Except you see a lot of people just kind of pushing it off and saying that it's just we need like corporations and stuff like that to make the change because they're causing the most change, or not change, they're causing the most
Emissions.
and stuff like that are contributing. So it's just frustrating to me because I agree with that wholeheartedly, except in order to get them to change is incredibly hard and it requires a ton of effort, and it's important to get the dialogue going that this is happening and that corporations are contributing a lot more than individuals are, except two things. People support those corporations for the most part, right? Like, who else is buying their products other than people? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And then two, it's like they're not like actively like getting in contact, or I'll say a majority of them aren't actively getting in contact with their local politicians or like state politicians to, let them know that they care about this.
Yeah.
And I know like a majority of people probably just say, oh, like my politician isn't going to care what I say. Like they're getting lobbied. Like I can't argue with that personally because I don't like lobby my politicians here. I don't even know who they are yet. I mean, I just moved here a few months ago, so I know that's not a super valid excuse. But then you have people that can make individual change as well, which is it's guaranteed change, but
It's not as big of an impact.
it's a lot smaller, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
See-
like for me, it's like one of the simplest things that we can do living in a first world country is just to simply eat less meat and drive less.
Specifically red meat, right?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, all of it,
It's
yes, but, like-
cows mostly that produce the most
But it's not
emissions.
even okay. It's not even like not eat meat. It's to not eat like, what is it like, corporate, not corporate, but like
Not local.
yeah, like
farmed,
yeah, like
mass
farmed.
factories.
Like yeah, every cow like produces X amount of methane. Blah blah blah. But like hunting for your meat, or like people that like hunt deer and elk and whatever, like that's not contributing. I'm not saying it's helping either, but just to blatantly say no meat is kind of.
Well, I didn't say no meat.
You did though.
I
Joseph
said eat
likes
less
his
meat.
steak, Dayton.
And I'm not trying to be like. I mean, I am trying to be like the.
Well, actually,
Not,
Do you hunt your food,
devil's
Joseph?
advocate, huh?
Do you hunt your food?
I don't, and I'm not
Do
saying.
you go to a local butcher that raises meat that's from local?
There is
locally
a
raised?
grocery store that I have gone to a couple times nearby that makes their own sausage. I don't know where the butcher is that they get it from, but you know.
I'm just saying.
No, and I know, and I'm
I
not-
understand what you're saying, except I don't think that you're doing that.
I know, and I'm not trying to say that I am. I'm just saying that you're pushing no meat when
Less meat. I'm pushing less meat,
okay,
Joseph.
okay.
That is all.
Then I heard you wrong. I'm sorry.
Joseph wants to eat his steak, Dayton.
I'm just saying
Alright.
it gives people the wrong impression. Like
No, I know. I totally know
because,
where
like,
coming from Joseph.
mean, Dayton, you and I both grew up in a very rural area where deer hunting is really common, right?
Yeah, and I
that-
don't.
and-
All right, so let's limit this. Let's limit this for both of
I'm
our
just
sakes
trying to explain to
environmental
people.
reasons and not ethical reasons,
Yes.
because there are vegans out there that are primarily ethical vegans that would jump down my throat for saying this. I'm literally just limiting this right now to environmental impact.
Mhm.
Hunting, sure, okay. I agree. I agree that hunting does not have the amount of impact that factory like farmed goods.
I'm gonna
do.
hunt factory cows now. Go to these mass fields and just shoot a cow and take that and butcher it myself. That's what I'm gonna do.
You probably put it out of its misery anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, continue with what you were saying.
what was I even?
You're saying but the politics part of it too.
You're talking about the environmental aspect instead of the ethical aspect.
Yeah. So the environmental aspect of it is, I know a lot of people. Joe, I don't know if I said no meat. I wanted to say eat less meat.
And I probably just
and it's-
Find out
wanted
at the
to
end of the
attack you
podcast.
for it regardless of what you said.
Probably.
If I'm
wanted-
being
wanted
honest,
to
I
jump down my
probably
throat.
was not listening to what you were saying. So
You're the part of the
No, I
problem,
am.
Joseph.
I just wanted to get that counterpoint out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I understand that counterpoint, except I also, I don't know, I just have a hard time understanding why people would put like their short-term happiness over the long-term health of just like everyone in general.
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, that's just society. That's the American
it's sad.
society.
It's sad.
I think that's more so
It's sad.
human.
It's totally sad. But that's the way we live.
I'd argue that's more human than just American society.
Yes,
except
but I would
it's a
argue
majority
that
of
the
American
American
society that are eating
economic
so much
system.
meat.
is
Oh yeah,
like-
I'm not saying
So
I'm just saying it's not exclusively American.
Mhm,
No,
definitely.
but I feel like the American lifestyle is very much like I want this now,
Mhm.
you know, and it's if it's not affecting your day-to-day life, people aren't going to think about it,
Mhm.
you know.
So, Dayton, I think a big part of this issue is you see these corporations who obviously are polluting more than individuals, right?
Mhm.
They're polluting like super bad, and let's say like the government makes some law that says, "Hey, stop doing that bad. That's we're killing the planet."
Mhm.
That impacts their bottom line. They raise prices, and it fucks up the economy a little bit. And I think that goes back to what you're saying, where it's like those short-term goals, where they're just like, why would I stop? Why would I not pollute more if it gets me, I don't know, X% more
Mhm.
Yep.
money for X amount of years or whatever.
Yeah.
And you even saw that with like Volkswagen in Germany or something, where they like put their cars in like eco mode just for the tests, and then
Oh, yeah.
turn them off, like and shit like that.
Mhm.
But I think that just kind of comes down to like, action won't happen until it becomes economically feasible to take a renewable or a sustainable option. I think at this point it's just more of like a PR thing. Where it's like, oh, we're gonna be more sustainable because people seem to like hearing that.
Because
right?
we care.
Right.
And
But
that's
once
that's
it
called
starts becoming where
greenwashing.
like now you see solar is becoming cheaper than coal, people are taking over solar, right? Like it's not until it becomes economically a more beneficial option, right? Like let's say the government says, hey, instead of punishing you for doing this, what if we paid you if you we're more economically stable. I'm not saying that's the solution.
I think that some countries are doing that. They're giving subsidies for clean energy,
And
which is
yeah,
what we
and
need
some
to
are,
do.
especially in Europe. And I'm not saying like that's like the end all be all solution. I'm just saying like you have to think about how people are looking at it, right? And the other shitty thing is a lot of these effects that are happening, at least immediately, are in third world countries and not first world ones where we're the ones consuming everything. We're not noticing the differences minus, I mean, they say storms and whatnot have been getting worse, which, I mean, from the 21 years I've been on the earth, I feel like I've noticed a little bit that like hurricanes are happening more and shit like that. But what I'm saying is like the third world countries end up getting fucked more environmentally by their seasons and stuff.
Yeah, and
so,
majority of first world people don't give a shit about that.
Exactly. We don't care. We care that we get our iPad for $100 cheaper. So it just comes down to if it was affecting, like, let's say it was affecting America by the way that we were manufacturing things like that and being more pollutant, I think that things would change quicker. But I don't really see things changing until we actually see some form of economic benefit for it, if that makes sense.
See, I think that instead of there's two ways to look at that, right? There's the carrot or the stick. You can either wait until there's economic benefit for companies to change, or you can also take the stick approach where you punish them, whether that's the government punishing them or that's consumers punishing them. So
right, by not paying for
in the
it,
case. Exactly. You essentially vote with your wallet, right? I'm sure that you and probably all of our listeners have heard that before. If enough people stop, eating, or if they reduce the, demand for whatever product it is, the company is going to have to produce less of it. Otherwise, they're just going to be losing profits. So then that's ultimately what the company is driven by. And then you even
absolutely.
see that on the flip side where people are voting with their wallets again, but in like the positive way, where, fast food companies are starting to offer more vegetarian and vegan options. Like I'm sure there's the
Impossible Whopper.
Yeah, the Impossible Whopper burger, or McDonald's just launched like a BLT or something like that with PLT, plant, lettuce, tomato, whatever. It's in like Canada or something. KFC had something. Subway has their meatball sub or whatever. I feel like there's more that I'm forgetting about. And I haven't
But Dayton,
had any
if
of
I
them.
go to McDonald's, I can get 5 hamburgers for $5, or I can get one of these plant burgers for $5. So I'm gonna get the 5 hamburgers.
Yeah,
But
and
I
that's
also
where I
think
say
that-
Which sucks.
that.
Which
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, and it sucks because a majority of that factory farm meat is going to places like fast food companies like that, which is why their prices are so fucking cheap.
So I would recommend, if you're listening to this and you are interested, I would really recommend watching the Patriot Act episode on Brazil. It's on YouTube. Because this is all fucking connected. Remember how the Amazon was on fire? And that was a huge thing in the
It's
news not
still
long
on
ago.
fire.
Isn't it
It's still on fire. Yeah, but
been on
it's out of the
fire.
news cycle now, so people don't care anymore. But the reason it's on fire is because the people in Brazil are clearing out parts of the forest so they can produce more cows, and then send off that meat to people like McDonald's and other like Brazil is the largest beef producing country in the world, I'm pretty sure. And the bigger issue is their current leader. I don't know if it's president or whatever. Their current leader pretty much is saying fuck the climate. Like he's encouraging farmers to burn down the Amazon rainforest. Like it's really fucked up. So if you want more information about that, watch that episode of Patriot Act. But it's all connected, right? Like the Amazon burning is obviously really bad for the plant because we're making less oxygen, but it's being burned to create more beef, which is also bad for the environment. And it's just it's completely compounding, and it's completely fucked.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
where I think technology is like, you see lab-grown beef is getting really far along in its cycle, where like I'm hoping, just for like the sake of everything, that becomes a more viable option. Just imagining being able to like genetically engineer beef that has none of the side effects, right? Where you can literally put it in a lab, it tastes just as fine. It's got way less hormones, and it tastes just the same. Like I'm not. It's obviously like a few years out. I hope that eventually takes off for like the sustainability standpoint.
And going back to like the whole corporation stuff, like in a perfect world, and the politics side of it too, in a perfect world, We could research who we want to vote for and only vote for people who are pro, like, we need to stop climate change, right?
Mhm.
And then they go to the House and the Senate and they passed regulations that would hit these companies, and either or both, I think would be both, punishing for pollution but also incentivizing cleaner practices, which would create an economic incentive to go into that. I mean, I feel like we can't wait for that to happen. We have to create it by subsidizing these companies, because we just don't have the time to wait for that to happen.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like you're waiting for it, but like by the time that it actually hits that point where it's economically feasible, like we're fucked. Like we're almost
Yeah.
at the point of no return.
We need to incentivize that with government policies and regulation. And this goes back to the whole rant I've had before about the nutrition in this country and how farmers are subsidized to farm corn and soy, which is creating these processed foods that are fucking shit for you, when they should be subsidized for more, like, have a rainbow of fruits and veggies that'll get the population healthier and all this stuff. Because even if we do lab grown meat, that's obviously good, but people should also eat less meat because it's just better for you. But people don't understand that because we don't take nutrition classes.
Yeah, processed meat, so like sausage, salami, like cold cuts, stuff like that, hot dogs, brats. That's classified by the WHO, the World Health Organization, as a class 1 carcinogen, the same rank that smoking is.
Yeah.
I just had 2 brats today. Thank you for that.
I eat a sandwich
You're welcome.
with cold cuts every day for lunch.
Yeah, so do I. 'Cause it's super convenient.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
It's
what
super
else would I
convenient.
And that's
make
the
for
thing.
lunch?
Like I can put brats in a microwave. Yeah, I know, microwave.
Get that
whatever.
bullshit
I
out
don't
of
have
here.
Yeah,
any problems
Different
in the
topic.
microwave.
For a minute,
No, yeah.
and then I get
Yeah,
my food.
I had tweeted about it this week, but yeah, it's fine.
But I mean, it comes down also to convenience for the user, right? Like, or the consumer. It's a lot easier to just buy that type of thing when it can last a decent amount of time, and it's good. I mean, there's a lot of preservatives now, so like meat and whatnot can last longer.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, like I'm fucking going into nutrition. I'm still eating these fucking cold cuts because I haven't sat down to figure out what else to eat instead. So that just shows like the average American who isn't thinking about any of that stuff, there's no way they're gonna
Oh no.
make that
Well,
jump.
and that also comes down to like how much can they afford? Like, can they afford the thing that's like less processed?
Yeah.
Because that stuff typically is cheaper because they can mass produce it too. So.
Yeah.
They're
And that's
gonna-
where, like, I know
they're
a
gonna
lot of
cheap stuff.
people, and rightfully so, are they don't want the government interfering with a lot of their life, which is fine. But I just feel like the government's the only way we can get these like economic incentives and really turn things around.
I mean,
You know.
people are just too selfish, is what it comes down to.
I mean, that's been humans for fucking
Oh,
since
yeah.
we were around.
But now it's
Unfortunately.
really coming to a head though.
Yeah, but now it's like, yeah,
It's
now
really
like,
coming
There could be
to-
no more humans. It's up to you guys.
Hey, the boomers had a good life
Yeah.
at least.
Lucky them. And now they yell at
Ugh.
fast food workers.
Now it's our
Yeah.
fault, obviously. That's
And it's just like, I'd like to say, which I will say, like, vote with your wallet, but also vote, like, do your research if you care about these things and vote for the person that you think can,
I
do
feel
the
like
best
the
at
vote
that.
for
But
your wallet thing is only good in practice, though. Like, you even see, like, for example, video games. Something comes out, it looks like dog shit. Everyone's like, fuck this, I'm never buying this again. What do? They fucking pre-order it, and it's a mass hit.
I mean, look at Borderlands 3, right?
Exactly.
Look at Borderlands 3 just came out.
Pokemon's having a ton of the new Pokemon has a ton of drama behind it. Borderlands 3 had an insane amount of drama behind it. There's no fucking way that is not going to be one of the best sellers of the year.
Yeah,
It already is.
Yeah,
It
Borderlands
already
3
is.
like destroyed all like sales of
It's
Borderlands.
already
Exactly.
Sales
done
projections.
Borderlands
And
2.
like the
And it's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, it's still serviceable, it's still fun. I mean, this is for video games, obviously, but it's still like,
Yeah.
it's still fun, so people are still going to do it, right? Like, there are
Yeah,
some
and I
things
think-
that are inconvenient, and that's the same thing with, with food and with the environment, too. So.
I think what it comes down to is that people don't see the ramifications for them aren't bad enough for them to justify making that jump to, and they're not
Exactly.
stubborn enough. Like they just don't care enough. Like for me, like with Borderlands 3, I haven't bought Borderlands 3 yet. I'm gonna wait until it comes out on Steam. Not because I'm saying fuck the developer, but I'm saying fuck like the company that bought like the exclusive rights to the game for 6 months, because I personally don't agree with everything
Epic.
that they stand for, even though they are doing some good for they're doing a lot of good for the developers right now. But
But it's,
I think-
the funny thing was like, well, not the funny thing. The thing with Borderlands 3 was like, there's a lot of people like on Reddit, for example, who are like super pissed off about it, and you were just like, I'm boycotting this. I'm not going to get it yet, which is totally fine. It's totally fair, and yeah, you're voting with your wallet. And it's just there was a post when the sales numbers came out for Borderlands 3. It was like another successful boycott, boys, and it just
that
sold
was on
fucking
Gaming Circle
gangbusters.
Jerk.
Yeah, or it's
Yeah,
just
I
like
saw
this.
that.
It's just, I mean, it's kind of sad 'cause you're like, shit, like I feel like I didn't accomplish anything.
Right.
You know?
Well, and
that's
the
where-
thing. It's the same type of concept when it comes to like food, and like you're like, oh, I'm gonna stop eating food, but then you get that one convenient time.
Stop
where you-
eating food.
I'm gonna stop eating food. Period. I'm done with food. I can't do it anymore.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going straight
filter
liquids.
feed.
You and I meant red meat. You're gonna stop eating red meat, and then it becomes super convenient, and you got same thing with other stuff. It's short term, like this is just one time, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Or, I want it just because it's convenient, but everyone else shouldn't buy Borderlands 3 because of the drama. Like it's fun for me, but you guys shouldn't buy it, type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that
But-
mindset that it's just, again, it's not going to change because it doesn't affect them, right? It only, and same with climate change, it doesn't affect Americans all that much, especially here in the Midwest. I mean, fuck, we barely notice. I mean, we get less snow sometimes. That's about it.
Well,
again, that
there's
can be-
more
It's been a little
erosion
hotter
happening in the
recently.
Great Lakes, and the Great Lakes water levels are rising. But who's to
Right.
say if that's correlated?
And
with
yeah, again, we
climate
don't have
change or
enough
not?
data. But what I'm saying is, like, for a majority of Americans, it's not like something that affects our daily life, right? Whereas somewhere in like a third world country, more in like it's towards the equator, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Where there's like the crazy droughts. And shit
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that.
they get a lot more droughts. Yeah.
Stuff like that tends to be, the issue. We don't fucking care about that.
The funniest thing to me is people who say like, climate change isn't real, which like, whatever. But it's like even if it wasn't real, which it is, but even if it wasn't, it's still a good idea to have all these like pro-environment moves. It's like just because even if it wasn't real, it's like, oh well, nothing bad's gonna happen, so let's keep doing this bullshit. It's like it's still like a good idea.
No, it's
Yeah.
more government regulation, and we don't need that.
God.
Yeah.
That's
and
the
it's like
argument. I mean, that's what the argument is.
No, I know, and that's the problem. Is like oil has been around for so long, and go back to the lobbying thing, like Dayton was saying. Oil has been around for so long that there's so much oil money trapped in government right now, and it's just fucking everything up.
Well, and was it ExxonMobil has known for 10, 20 years, I think, that
It's way longer.
that burning oil was detrimental to the
Because
environment.
they do their own internal testing.
Yeah, like
but
so they've known for I don't know the number of how many years.
It's at least like 50 or 60 years from what I remember. Actually, I'm pretty sure that there was an article published in like the 40s or 50s. So like going on like 80 years.
Yeah, on how.
But yeah, I mean,
it
that's
has
going
a-
back to like what Gabe said. Like
yeah.
they're not gonna fucking change. They just see the money signs, and that's what they're chasing.
have you guys seen the movie Thank You for Smoking?
No.
The concept is, I think he's a lobbyist, but it's basically this guy who represents tobacco companies, and it's the birth, or like a big revival, I guess, of like how they use misinformation and misdirection to support their claims. So like I said, he works for a tobacco company, so he's like the PR guy and says how smoking doesn't affect your chances of cancer, right? And it's really interesting. I would totally advise that you guys go watch it, because it's really interesting to see the tactics they use to get people to not believe in it. And you see the same thing happen with climate change, where they just use other people to communicate this like mass, that it's not real and that it doesn't exist, just so they can keep doing what they're doing. It's super clever, but it's also super fucking aggravating to watch.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
a
that
really
goes
good
back
movie.
to, I'm just gonna bring it up because I love it so much. But like BoJack Horseman, right? That show has so much. It's an amazing predictive capability. Like they predicted all the gun control shit like a year or two in advance before it became popular in the media. The opioid epidemic, like last season, which is hitting now. And then there's that bit about. So one of the characters is trying to be elected mayor of California or governor of California.
Mayor of
dude.
California.
But that
Sorry.
shit's so true, though.
Yeah, he's trying to get elected governor, and he loses the election. And then he's like, what if I could challenge the current governor to a ski race, and whoever wins becomes the governor of California? And so his manager or whatever is like, we can do that. So they create a bill to go into California state law that adds a clause like, if you ski race the governor, then you win. If you win, you become governor. And the reason how she does it is she goes to these congressmen
It's
like,
called pork rolling, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it's called pork. Yeah.
it's called pork
Yeah.
on the bill, yeah.
Yeah.
Where she's like, what do you need to sign this bill? He's like, oh, I want, subsidies for my farms. Like, okay, we'll write that in also. And one guy's like, I want a highway to Hawaii. So, yep, we'll write that in. And so this one amendment becomes super long, so all these people will vote for it, and then you get what you actually want. And meanwhile, all these fucking congressmen are just getting all this bullshit. And then they
For the
build a highway to
constituents,
Hawaii.
mostly.
Yeah, for their constituents. So it's just like, it's just hilarious because that shit happens all the time. And it makes sense, right? But it's super shitty because what you actually want to do just doesn't happen.
Wait, are you telling me that our government isn't completely, like, pure intentions of being a democratic system without any capitalistic?
Well,
I mean,
to be
I don't
fair,
know,
it's a
man.
democratic republic, so but not to argue semantics.
I will say as we get near the end
Someone
of this
argue
episode,
it's an oligarchy.
Yes.
as we get near the end of the episode, there is some hope in this. I do agree with Dayton that talking about it does help, and I do feel like in recent years there has been more conversation about it. I feel like if Greta Thunberg would have came out 10 years ago, it wouldn't have gotten this much press.
Maybe she was 6, though.
God, shut the fuck up, Gabe.
He
Or like,
makes a
the
point,
Amazon.
though. I mean, who's gonna believe a 6-year-old? Like,
Or like, the Amazon being on fire. I feel like people wouldn't have cared as much years ago if they'd seen that. I feel like people are they're more aware of it, and honestly, I think it's probably because of Trump. I think Trump forced a lot more people to pay attention to what's going on in the world, good
are
or
you
bad.
saying Trump is a
and-
good thing? Are you praising Trump?
No comment. No comment on that. Do not want to go down that road.
And in recent
But,
news, Jacob is a Trump supporter.
Just whip out the MAGA hat. Yeah, no, I just feel
they
like
got
people
new
are
hats
more.
now. It's not Make America Great Again. It's Keep America Great now.
Jesus fucking
Well,
Christ.
I'm not making that
No,
up.
yeah. Fuck that.
But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that things are getting slightly better, as in people are listening more than they used to. And will that translate to real change? I hope so, but
One can hope.
And there's
Okay.
also, I mean, this challenge I think is one of the more difficult ones that we've ever had in human history. Obviously, I've only been here for 20 plus years, so I don't know a whole lot about human history.
I've been there since the beginning, but here's what I'm thinking.
But you do see repeating problems throughout history that become a problem, and then some form of technology or engineering ends up solving it. Whether that's a little bit too late for us, who's to fucking say? But I mean, you even see there's so many people. Like, how are we going to feed them? So we found a solution to that. There's always constant solutions to things. I'm just hoping.
We picked the wrong solution. We picked the solution to make more food instead of just get rid of people.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Fields.
I'm hoping that there's some form of technology or a solution, whether that be like carbon filters or alternative energy or a combination of all these type of things, lab grown meat or anything that could all work together to solve this issue. Hopefully.
Honestly, I'm just banking on my boy Elon Musk colonizing Mars, and we just yeet the fuck out of here because this is gone.
That's an interesting thing to say, actually, because I was listening to a podcast they were talking about that. Like, all these billionaires who could probably do something are more concerned with our next planet than fixing the one we're on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they realize that
It's a fucked up
lost
mindset.
cause. It is.
Where it's like,
But
this
like,
isn't gonna work, so why don't we just take this planet and make it ours?
let's just ruin a second planet.
It's like
It's like WALL-E.
You guys watch the movie 2012?
Yeah.
No,
when
that's a
they're
disaster
like,
movie,
that
right?
garbage
yeah, they're
movie.
like, oh, everybody's dying, but like the rich people get to buy boats that make them safe. It's just
Yeah.
like that type of concept where it's like they can just escape it because they got money.
Have you guys seen Kingsman?
Yes, the first one.
The first one.
Not the second
Like, 'cause it's really interesting. I feel like what's interesting too about this whole thing is the media is reflecting it. Like in Kingsman, the bad guy,
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
his
about.
plan is to basically have half of humanity just kill each other because he's
It's
like global
pre-Thanos,
warming.
but it's Thanos.
Yeah.
He's like global warming is happening because there's too many fucking people on Earth, so we just need to kill half of them, and all the rich people are safe, because they can
It's
buy
more
tickets,
than
like,
half though, because
Well, it's all the leaders, isn't it? It's like all like the
Yeah, it's like all the
president
world
and
leaders
the
and like all
prime
the
ministers.
quote unquote important people.
yeah.
And then he like releases this SIM card that releases frequency that makes people want to kill each other. But it's like you're obviously like a bad guy, but that's makes sense. If we had less people, we wouldn't have as many problems.
More people, more problems.
Jacob is Thanos confirmed.
But yeah, it's like Thanos, all that shit. So it's interesting how media kind of reflects that and kind of force people to think about it at least a little bit.
Well, not as much as it used to, but yeah.
Yeah, but people would much rather watch a movie than listen to a 5-hour podcast.
Oh, if you're
About
talking
climate change.
entertainment, absolutely.
I'm talking about like just people like seeing the message,
Yeah. If you're talking about like actual news people, they're just sucking other people's money, like.
Yeah, the whole
But as far as like
cable news is a whole other
entertainment-
topic that I
yeah.
don't want to get into.
entertainment and stuff like that, they definitely weave their messages into other forms.
All right, well, that was episode 38 of the Engineers Without Filters podcast. Thank you for listening. Again, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at EWF Podcast. And you
Like,
can find us every
favorite,
Monday on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. We'll be back on track this week. We'll be coming at you every Monday, so
Hopefully.
hopefully.
We'll see.
We're sorry again.
Yeah.
But
We hope you like this episode. Don't forget to tell your friends about it, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.